And if you thought your smartphones had turned people into zombies already, there's a new game that's taking it to an entirely new level, and there's a problem with it, bad enough to prompt warnings from police departments across the country. We're talking about Pokemon Go.
It's an addictive new game that has millions of people around the world hooked and criminals paying attention.
It's almost zombie-like. Groups of people, some alone, walking aimlessly in a park looking down on their cell phones.
So, like, a couple Pokemon popped up.
Pokemon Go is the addictive augmented reality game that uses your cell phone camera and puts you in a world with the cartoon characters. There's also the issue that you can play 24 hours a day, and the addictive game has people leaving their homes in the middle of the night, even in South Florida.
Last night, there was over 50 people there. Yeah, there's over 50 people there at 3 a.m.
Pokemon Go players across the United States are getting into accidents while trying to catch them all. On July 12th, an unidentified 28-year-old man was playing the game in upstate New York as he was driving at night. The man got distracted and veered off the road, crashing into a tree. According to Auburn police, the man did not sustain any injuries, but the front of his car was severely damaged. The following day, two men fell off a cliff in San Diego after hopping over a fence to catch a Pokemon Go character. The Encinitas Fire Department found a man about 75 to 100 feet down the cliff. A second man was also found unconscious 50 feet below. Both men were taken to Scripps La Jolla Hospital with moderate injuries, according to Encinitas Battalion Chief Robbie Ford.
One fell 75 to 100 feet. A second guy stuck about 50 feet up on the cliff and had a few obstacles to cross in order to get to the cliffs about 8 feet away. There's the metal barrier, and here is the fence. Rescue crews actually had to cut through this fence to get to someone on the cliffs. The Sheriff's Department tells 10 News the men were playing Pokemon Go, a free app just released this month. The game tracks your location in real time, allowing players to throw virtual Pokeballs at the Pokemon. 2 engines, 1 fire truck, 2 medic units, lifeguards, and 1 battalion chief all helped rescue the 2 men. No word yet on how much the bill will run taxpayers.
It might be a good idea to avoid areas you have to shimmy or squeeze through in order to catch Pokemon. 4 teenage boys in England found themselves trapped in an underground cave system spanning 72 square miles while searching for a series of tunnels for Pokemon. The boys couldn't manage their way out, but they were lucky enough to find a spot where they had cell phone reception and made a call for help. The fire and rescue team said they managed to lower down water and radios so they could communicate. Let this story be a lesson that next time you think you might go down a dark tunnel to hunt for Pokemon, just don't.
It's one of the first messages players see when they open Pokemon Go. Remember to be alert at all times and stay aware of your surroundings. But today in Yukon, a driver apparently missed that message as he got behind the wheel of his car and almost caused a bad crash. Police say the driver was playing Pokemon Go when he veered into oncoming traffic, nearly going head-on with a police officer. That driver slapped with a $150 fine for almost causing an accident. Police aren't the only ones warning players about using Pokemon Go. The Better Business Bureau telling players to use the game with caution. One of the reasons, the app is constantly using your phone's GPS services to follow you in real time, meaning players who have limited data could have a big bill waiting for them at the end of the month. Another issue, players who sign into Pokemon Go with their Google accounts might have unknowingly allowed the app to an alarming amount of personal data.
She was hit by a car, suffered only minor injuries, but this teenager learned a valuable lesson about playing Pokemon Go.
I was like, that damn game, I shouldn't have let her play it.
Tracy Nolan shares her anger over Pokemon Go. This is her 15-year-old daughter, Autumn Deisenroth, recovering from injuries after she was hit by a car. The teenager says Pokemon Go took her across a busy intersection at Ross Street and East 9th Avenue in Toronto. She made it across the street safely the first time as she captured Pokemon. Deisenroth was hit on the way back across the street after playing the game.
It took me to the museum and I got it, and then I walked back to the highway. I put the phone down on my side.
Nolan blames the game for putting her daughter in an area she wouldn't normally visit.
Kids don't just cross a highway. You know, they're not going to walk across a highway for no reason. This thing had her walking across a highway to find a Pokemon. When she called and said that she was hit by a car, I blamed the game because she would not have been out of my house. My daughter is a hermit.
And Deisenroth blames the game too.
To where, like, how it is set up, to where we have to cross roads to go get it, on that part, yeah, I do blame it.
The Holocaust Memorial Museum has told fans of the popular new mobile game Pokemon Go not to play the game in its premises, describing it as extremely inappropriate in a memorial dedicated to the victims of Nazism. The game involves using a mobile phone's GPS to find and capture virtual Pokemon characters at real-life locations, including, it would seem, inside the Washington-based museum. The idea of players roaming its halls, eyes glued to phones in search of the computerized figures, shocked many after an image was posted online showing one of the characters located outside the doors to the museum's Helena Rubinstein Auditorium. The museum's communications director said in a statement, "We are attempting to have the museum removed from the game."
People are so obsessed with playing Pokemon Go, they're getting in big trouble over it. These two were arrested for allegedly jumping over a zoo's fence in order to keep up with the game. Cops spotted the duo on security cameras at the Toledo Zoo in Ohio near the tiger exhibit at 2:30 in the morning. One of the trespassing suspects apparently posted on Facebook just days earlier, quote, "I am not above breaking and entering for a Pokemon," end quote. Another zoo in Palm Beach, Florida, considered a Pokemon hotspot, already posted this sign alerting players about its parking lot closures, so overnight intrusions like the one in Toledo don't happen.
A man in Milford was playing Pokemon Go, as so many people are these days, but he ended up in handcuffs. The game took him to the police station. But now Detroit's Simon Chowder shows us why he was stopped in his tracks.
Fortunately, sometimes they make our job very easy for us.
Pokemon Go takes gamers to places they normally may not go. But for one man, avoiding the Milford police station would have been a wise move. But the game led him to this flagpole Thursday morning.
He was actually coming here because he knew that the Milford Police Building is a gym in the game Pokemon Go.
William Wilcox was playing the game while riding his bike in his pajamas. He followed the map to the nearest Pokemon gym, which happens to be the police station. The problem is, he's a known criminal and had a warrant out for his arrest. Several police officers recognized him as he made his way to the station.
The original charge he had was for breaking and entering, but the warrant was for failure to appear for sentencing. He either forgot that he had the warrant out for his arrest or was just ignoring it, thinking that nothing would happen.
The man was arrested on the spot. He didn't pass go. He didn't collect $200. Wait a minute, wrong game.
I think he was more upset about having to stop playing the game.
Wilcox was arraigned Thursday and has been released. Chief Tom Lindbergh reminds folks playing Pokemon Go,
don't just walk into the police building and start playing the game. Most of those characters will appear outside the building.
And Wilcox will be back in court within the next 2 weeks. In Milford, Simon Chowdhury for the Now Detroit.